What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Spider-Gwen from the movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and you can order this at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. I picked this up because I was going to get Miles, so I was like, all right. Initially I just wanted to get Miles, but it's like, why not get both, right? My kids love the movie, and I learned to love it. You know, I wasn't a big fan of it initially. Then after I think the 5th viewing, that's how many times I've watched this. I've just learned to love it, and you know, I'm glad that I dipped into this lineup, to be quite honest with you, because it's one of the best figures that I've had, and I know they are not human-like. You know, they're more animated, and when you talk about Hot Toys, that's not really what they're known for, but I bet you, I mean, they're one of the, I would say, most screen accurate things that I've seen, and tons of accessories, especially the Miles Morales one. But this is a good companion piece for him. That's why I bought this one too. And new bodies, as you can see here, they're in the hybrid of like a child. They're a teenager basically, so they're not too small, but they're not quite the regular size of 1/6 that we are aware of. Plus, she does have Spider-Ham, which is pretty awesome. As you can see here, the biggest accessory I've probably seen ever. I don't know if you can call that an accessory. You got the book, which does have all those, you know, words to it. Empty mask. You got the a white stand, which maybe they've done something similar in the past, but can't remember really. And the thing that you always remember, the webs. And this is the stand for Spider-Ham, and you get this white pole, you know, this bendy pole for dynamic stands. You just insert it there, but again, it's white, so it's kind of unique in that sense, so that's pretty cool. And you can see here you got the secondary head sculpt, which is quite nice, which we're going to take a look at later on. And you got her, I would say, her hoodie, that once you put the mask on, you got to put it on her back, so it looks like it's, you know, kind of backwards, and you see those array of eyes, a cell phone. And we're going to take a look at that clearly here. Accessories, nice array of hands, and you can see the fingers are a bit long and they're more animated. You know, they're kind of blocky on the palm area compared to, let's say, a regular figure. You can see that's pretty cool. And you can see the texture on the gloves, because they're sculpted, they're plastic, but you can see the pattern is consistent to her suit. And the array again of webs that we have seen before, and different kinds of eyes, some wide open, you know, a little bit squinty eyes and all that stuff. And she had her phone that she is posing with Miles out there. Pretty cool. You can see what's in there. And the empty mask, we've seen this, you know, 1,000 times now with the Spider-Man from Tom Holland. And the hooded part, which again, this is made out of plastic, but pretty nicely done, painted well, and you can still see the pattern. Again, the consistency of the pattern, you can see it on the mask as well right here. Now you can't take off the eyes from this mask, and rightfully so. So that's that, but we're not done. You know, we're not done. We have Spider-Ham, the biggest piece of accessory I would say that I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe it's the Spider-Man drone, but this is like more of a character. And now I gotta be careful about that tail, because when you hold them, obviously I don't want to hold them through the head. Normally that's your first inclination, because that's the biggest part. But I'm kind of like worried about his neck area. It might snap there, you know, so try to hold him to his body. But you see that tail, which is I feel like it's a bit delicate there, so be careful. She has a mirror, not really a mirror, but you have a sticker that is reflective. You probably can't see, it's too small, but you know. And I knocked off, of course, Spider-Ham, and he's not, he does have a stand, and he does, because of the head is top heavy, See, he tends to lean one way. And you got the physics book here. And each individual page is printed, which is pretty cool. I didn't manage to read it, nor I want to. And you get an extra head sculpt, which is done very well. You see the eyes, it really captures the look here. You got this Gwen Stacy into the Spider-Verse, beautifully done. And you come up here, and there you go. You see that logo right there? Again, it's white, so it is refreshing. And I didn't notice that the pattern is there too. And she comes with this nice backdrop where you have to assemble it. You do have on the instructions, it's asking you to put the sticker on the stand itself. That is something that I'm not gonna do because I don't want this permanently attached to the stand if I want to move her around. I think that's a bad idea, but hey, to each his own. But if you feel like you can display her with this stand, and some bent edges there, go ahead and do so, because it is a beautiful backdrop. You can see right there, it is quite nice. Moving on to the spider suit itself, it is nice. It is thin. It doesn't hinder articulation. Now, it's a new body. They explained it on the Miles Morales one, where I don't know if it's the same one, but there's a lot of point of articulation where we'll touch base later on. But as far as the material that they used, you can see the consistency of the pattern, regardless if it's, and it goes all the way down. You see her hands, her glove, and you don't see any joints, like even on the ankles, it is whole one piece. There's no boots in here, or I'm sure there's ball joints or whatnot, but they are not visible. Even on, the wrist, it's nicely hidden. So kudos to Hot Toys for doing that. On the back, I like the suit, the material that they used. It is stretchy, so you won't have any problems articulating this figure at all. Like I said, the body is kind of skinny, to mimic the look of the animated movie. So it's and the points of articulation is amazing. Now, the head sculpt. Let's start off with the masked one. So the hood itself, you can't remove it. It is attached. So when you are removing the head sculpt, you can hold it by the hood. Again, you see that nice consistent pattern. The eyes are magnetic, so you could remove that, put back in. This hood right here, because initially I thought there were two-piece where you could. That's actually not a bad idea if it was two-piece, so you could actually use her with the hood down if you want to. But I guess that never really happened in the movie, so I'm not gonna be stressed out about that. And the eyes, you could remove it as well. You guys know the drill. Now, the animated head sculpt, I think this looks phenomenal. You can see here, and it is super close to the animated version. I will say this on the Miles review, but this is gonna come out first. I wish they gave her the Ahsoka treatment, where it is purse, where you can move the eyes around, because her and Miles, their eyes are big. They are animated and very expressive. Perfect way to integrate purse or whatever single eye rolling system, in my opinion. I know it might be a little bit more, but I would rather see that, because I think that would give them enough life had that been done. But needless to say, even without that, I still think this is a pretty solid head sculpt. The hair is nice. Everything here in this figure is top notch. The sculpting of the hair, even the the short part on the other side, she has her piercing, a little bit of freckles there. The eyes are really alive, as you can see here. It's just a good representation of Spider-Gwen from the animated film to this. Like I said, the only thing that I would have added was a rolling eye system. I think that would have been, been really cool if that was done. But nonetheless, man, still pretty solid head sculpt right here. And moving on, so we'll look at the articulation that I mentioned earlier. Brand new body. So this is ratcheted, like a soft ratchet. You can see it. You can't hear it, but you can bend the elbows. It's supposed to bend a little tighter than this though. But everything here is ratcheted from the shoulders, to the legs. You just got to be careful. Like you see that whenever you do that, there's a little bit of bunching up happening. Now you can raise the legs as well. Again, this is ratcheted along with the knees. Now with her arms, you see that double joint on the knees. You could mistaken it, so be careful. Just remember the pattern on the clothes, like those pink areas are inside, because I don't want you all of a sudden twisting and turning this and putting them in the wrong order, that all of a sudden you break the elbows or the shoulder. So just be mindful of whenever you're bending this, where it's supposed to be and where the joints are at. We'll put over some poses before we wrap this thing up. This is her, and I think this is perfect. This rooftop / whatever scene from the Spider-Man, because it still kind of meshes well with the animated look. So that's pretty cool. And then the urban feel to it, with the graffiti and all that stuff. It is perfect. You can see the tail out there, but here she is, jumping. Like I mentioned earlier, as far as poses, you won't have any trouble with this lady right here. And Miles, there's a lot of poses that you could do. Now with that waist clamp right there, is that gonna, have issues over time? I believe it will. I don't trust this waist clamp whatsoever, so I'm not gonna use that for the most part. Or if I do, I'm gonna pull it down so it'll wrap around her legs. And as you can see here, this is a pretty dynamic pose. Not the best pose, but I'm limited to the angles that I do have. But you can see here, she's being held nicely. She's light, so it's not gonna put a whole lot of stress, on the suit. But even with that being said, when she is just on my cabinet, it's gonna be a museum pose. I just want to preserve my figures such as. So look at this. And height comparison wise with the new Miles Morales that I just got and the classic suit Spider-Man from PS4, you can clearly see that he's taller, but I thought Gwen was taller than Miles. Maybe I was wrong. They seem to be the same height with Gwen and Miles Morales, and obviously the PS4 Spider-Man is gonna be taller. And my final thoughts on this figure, I think she's pretty cool. If you like the movie, and the price is not bad for what you're getting, especially for Miles. If you get Miles, you on the next review for Miles, you know exactly what I'm going to be talking about price wise, because everything nowadays with Hot Toys seems to be around $300 to $285. She's not in that category. However, you're gonna get a lot, but it feels like if you're gonna get Spider-Gwen, unless you're just a Spider-Gwen fan, you almost have to get Miles. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because as a figure, and even the movie itself, I think they're fantastic. I think the movie itself is good, and it translates well into the figure. With that being said, is this a must-have? I would say so. If you're a fan of the movie, I would say so, because it's gonna be hard-pressed to find something this good that would translate to that character. And I'm a fan. Again, I'm a fan of the movie, and as a figure, they're so much fun. You can pose them around without fear of ripping the clothes or anything like that. Obviously, I still don't recommend posing them dynamically for a long period of time, but in that short span where you're taking a picture or whatnot, I think you're gonna be okay. So highly recommended. Pick this up and then pick up Miles Morales, and you know what I'm talking about. The backdrop is a little big. I don't see myself using this, but it's there. I like the fact that it's there. But thank you for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this figure. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.